and continue our strength with a variety of exercises. So let's start by just warming up the body. We're just going to march in place, and today we're going to work on a couple of focus areas. We're going to do lots of core work. We're also going to do some upper body in conjunction with that core work, and then also work on those hips, those adductors which bring the legs in, and those abductors which bring the legs out from the center of the body. So strengthening all around and really getting in some great strength work today. So getting our heart rate up as we go along. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do a couple 2 steps to the side and 2 steps back. Just 2 steps to the side and 2 steps back. And there's a goal here with the workout, not only to get our heart rate up and our blood pumping, our muscles ready for the work at hand, but also kind of targeting the muscles that we're going to use in our workout, because we want them to be warm and ready to go. So if we're going to use the inner and outer thighs, we want to warm those up. And here we are. We're going to use our arms, our chest, and our back, and our core. So we've got all those engaged, right? Belly button in, nice and strong through your center. A couple more here. Now, I always recommend that you spend a few more minutes warming up. If you know that you have any joint issues, if you're pre or postpartum, if you just got up, if you haven't been moving around yet today. So if that's the case for you, go ahead and add in a little bit more warm up, or do this workout after taking the dogs for a walk or something like that. All right, last 2. Last one. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and start with kickbacks. Today I'm going to use my band and door anchor attached just about shoulder height for a majority of our exercises. And then I'm using my yellow band here because I don't want as much resistance for the things that are attached to the door. And then I'm going to use my red band, which is a little bit more resistance for the standing exercises. So you can follow suit, or you can adjust based on your strength level of different exercises. If you need to upgrade your band for certain exercises and you don't have that yet, please reach out to me. I'll let you know where you can get them, or if I have one, I will get it to you. All right, so we're going to start with kickbacks. So go ahead and place one foot on the band, each handle in each hand. Take the other foot and walk through. Step forward and balance on that front foot. And then from here, we're going to bend the knee that's attached to the band and then press the foot back. So we're engaging the glutes here, and we're also engaging the core because I'm asking you to do a little bit of balance. You can tap your toe to the ground each time, or you can challenge your balance by trying not to let that foot touch at all. You can also increase a little bicep work here by reaching those arms forward a little more. Nice static hold for those arms. Belly button in, strong through your core, shoulders down and back. All right, let's go ahead and do that same thing on the other side. Step the other foot on the band. And then walk the other foot through, all your balance onto that front foot. And then let's press back. You can try to do on this side what you did on the other side in terms of balance. I'm counting for you. We're doing higher reps here. This is a larger muscle group. Let's do 3 more. And 1. And bring it up. We're going to switch to our band that's attached to our door anchor. If you're using the same one, go ahead and attach it. All right. So for this little series, I'm going to hold both handles in my hand. One of the reasons I'm using less resistance on my band. I'm going to step away just until I create a little resistance. There's no sag in that band. And I've got my shoulder facing towards where the band is attached. From here, standing tall, little bend in your knees, we're just going to press out and bring it back in. Feel that core engage, your You're keeping your shoulders over your hips. Straight out from your belly button. 2 and 1. We're going to hold it right out. From here we're going to twist. Our twist here is going to maintain that shoulders over hips position. So it's that whole upper body that twists. Bring it back in. So those knees need to come in. Imagine you've got a straight line, you do, from the top of your head all the way through your body, through your tailbone. Tailbone's pointing straight down to the ground. You're just twisting around that axis. We're going to do one more. And then we're going to come back to center and switch the other direction. So again, standing so that left shoulder is facing towards where that anchor attaches. We're going to stand with that band, the handles right in front of our belly button, and just exhale straight out. You decide how much resistance you need. You want to be able to maintain your form. I'm going to pull in for a little resistance, but not causing you to lean in. One more. We're going to hold it all the way out, and we're going to add that twist. Shoulders and hips stay together, connected as you twist. We want the body to move in this way throughout our day, so we're practicing so that it's just second nature. Think about your head being right on top of your tailbone, so we're not leaning into that twist. We're staying nice and tall. We just have 2 more. And back to center. I'm going to bring it down. Allow that band to stay here. Grab our other one. Or pull that off. And do our second set of kickbacks. We're going to do 2 sets of each little exercise group today. Hands forward. We're going to press back and up. Again, if you can, go ahead and balance without that foot touching back. Every time you're balancing, you're using more calories. You're helping your body remember how to use each piece in conjunction to balance. Last 2. And 1. Switch to the other foot. Step through. And here we go. Pressing back. Find your balance. One more. Perfect. And bring it back down. And then we're going to switch and use that handle attached to the wall. Or to the anchor. Stepping away so that shoulder faces towards the anchor. Just a little resistance here. Belly button in nice and strong. We're going to exhale out. Inhale. Staying nice and tall, not leaning forward. Keeping those shoulders over your hips. And then hold it out right here. We're going to add that twist. And again, maintaining that shoulders over hips position. Last 2. And slowly bring it back in. Let's do one more slow. Really conscious of that effort. And bring it back in. We're going to do the other side. Switch it around. Step out to create that little bit of resistance. Hands right in front of your belly button. Shoulders over hips. Notice that I have a little bend in my knees. I'm not squatting, but I'm not locking out those knees either. Exhale out. Just be enough resistance that you feel your center engage. Out, hold it here, and here we go for that twist, reaching it over. Exhale as you twist. staying over those hips. One more, bring it out and hold. We're gonna go super slow for the last two, bringing it in and pressing it out, bringing it in and pressing it out. Controlled, back to center and down. That's two of that one. All right, so for our next one, we're gonna use all band work. I'm gonna stay with that yellow band and put one hand in each hand, or one handle in each hand. We're gonna start facing towards the wall where we're attached, and we want enough resistance again so there's no slack, but it doesn't need to be super tight at the very end. And then with straight arms to our sides, our thumbs are facing our hips, our shoulders are away from our ears, we're standing tall. We're gonna start with just a press back. Nice straight arms, pressing straight back. So we're engaging that core here, feel nice and strong. A little bend in those knees to keep them soft. And then we're gonna add on. Every time we press back, we're gonna lift a knee. Try to maintain your center so that when you lift that knee, you're not leaning to one side. Exhale, lift and press. Staying as centered as you can. And also challenging that balance a little bit with that lift. We're going to do one more on each side. Here we go. Lift and lift. Bring it down. So upper body, core and legs all engaged here. All right, now we're going to take both handles into one hand. Step away facing towards where that attachment is. We're going to keep our shoulders over our hips, and we're going to pull straight back towards that hip. And then lengthen it out, turn so your palm is down. Pull straight back. Bring it forward and pull. I want you to make the focus not so much on your upper body, but on your core. So keeping your shoulders over your hips. And nice and square. So again, we're combining efforts. We have a nice focus on our core, but we're also using the back of that shoulder and our upper back. And our latissimus dorsi, the center of our back here, those wings. 2 and 1. You'll know your weight is too much, or your resistance is too much, or you're too far away if you have to turn your body for this. We want it nice and still. So let's go ahead and change to the other arm and do that same exercise. We're going to pull it in and pull it out. So when I have my arm on the other side, you can see that I'm trying to maintain that shoulder over hip position. Try not to rush through these. Make a little pause when you get to the very back of that pull. Last one right here. And bring it in. We're going to turn around and face away from our door anchor, both handles in one hand again. And the goal of having them both in one hand is that your core has to engage a little bit more to maintain your neutral position. Whereas if we have both, we're nice and even. So we're throwing ourselves off balance on purpose. Again, I don't need a whole lot of resistance here because I'm doubling up the band and I'm doing one side at a time. So I'm going to press straight out and bring it in. And again, keeping those shoulders over those hips. Try to decide where you need to be to have that core engage. A little pause at the out or at the press. Last one, hold it, and then we're going to bring it super slow back for our last two. Super slow out and super slow back. We're going to step back and go ahead and switch so that both handles are in the other hand. Nice and strong, centered through our core. and press it out. When I'm doing these, I like to have my wrist nice and flat. Try not to press this way with your wrist bent. If you can keep your wrist nice and flat, it's just another way to protect your joints. Holding that body still, right? Not letting your body lean or twist. Holding it nice and still. Last one here. Bring it out and hold. Super slow back. And super slow out. One more like that. And out. And super slow. Come on back and unwind. All right, let's go back to the beginning with those extensions of the legs and press backs of the arms. So bringing your arms right to your side, step back so you have enough resistance for you. We're going to start with that press back. A little bend in those knees, your tailbone's pointing straight back so that you have that natural curve in your spine. And then let's add those knee lifts. Lifting one and then the other with the focus on keeping your body centered as you switch from one leg to the other. You're going to naturally tilt from one side to the other, but we don't want a big tilt. Four more, but we're going to do them super slow. Lift and press. Super slow and wind. Same on the other side. Lift and press, super slow. A little more balance required. Last two, nice and slow. Half time. Last one. And bring it in. All right, both handles into one hand. Step back. And we're going to do those rows. Shoulders over hips. Bring it back and back. A little pause as you pull back. Feel that core working. Last two right here. And one. Bring it in. We're going to switch to the other side and press it back. Keeping those shoulders over hips. Building strength in the upper back helps with your posture and able to maintain that form throughout your day. All right, last two. And one. And let's turn it so that we're facing away from that anchor. Figure out how much resistance you need right here. Flatten out that wrist and pressing it forward, holding your body nice and still. Straight out. Continue to focus on holding yourself still, shoulders over hips. 3, 2, and hold it out. Find your center. Slowly back and slowly forward. Slowly back and slowly forward. Nice little challenge. Comes from the slow. Who knew? Bring it back. And let's step back and switch it to the other side. All right, here we go. Getting through these. Getting stronger every day. Big exhale, pressing out. Inhale back. Last one, hold. Super slow back. Super slow out. Keeping that body centered and strong. Super slow back. And super slow out. Unwind, nice and controlled. Nice. All right, let's move on. I'm going to leave that band on the wall. I'm going to use the band that I have disconnected, my heavier band, and we're going to move on to another set here. We're gonna go ahead and step both feet on this band, and we're gonna use those adductors that pull the legs away from our center. I'm gonna make an X right here with those handles going into the opposite hands, and then we're gonna side step. So we're gonna go just like we did in our warm-up, 2 over and 2 back. Now as I step here, I want you to think about keeping that body centered. We're not leaning into it, right? We're gonna hold our body so that our shoulders stay over those hips. Step and step. We have a nice knee bend, but we're not in a squat position. You could certainly add to the challenge by doing these in a squat position. But focus on holding your body nice and strong and still. You can create more resistance by bringing that band up. You can make it a little bit easier by bringing them down, but these are not easy. But doable, right? Challenging, but doable. You find that you can't keep up with me without leaning into them, or without adjusting your form, then it's time for you to take a break. Last 4, 3, 2 more. Woo, feeling those. Last 1. And done. Squat always feels good here to release that tension. All right, we're gonna do a little inner thigh lift. So put one handle on the ground. We're gonna step on it with that opposite foot. So I have my handle in my right hand, my left foot is stepping on the band. I'm not at the handle, I'm a little further in. You'll need to make an adjustment. But I'm gonna take my right foot here and turn it to the side so that I can scoop up that band. I'm gonna create resistance for my inner thigh lift with that band. So I'm just lifting straight up and down. Now this requires some balance. So if you need to grab that chair, bring it over closer to you so that you can hold on. That's an excellent option. But again, we're engaging that core. I'm gonna keep my tailbone pointing straight down to the ground. So I'm not curling under as I lift. I'm making this do all the work. Your adductors adds the leg to the center of the body. Let's do 4 more of these. And switch to the other side. So left hand, and then right foot steps on it. Left foot comes through sideways to scoop up that band. Create your resistance by where you're hanging onto that band. Tailbone straight down to the ground. Lift. We're just going straight out in front. 1 more. And bring it down. All right, now we're going to go ahead and pick up both handles. Step on our band. And we're going to go side to side. A little lateral reach. So we're going to go ahead and lean down to one side. If we could literally stand on the wall and keep ourselves in alignment here. Just sliding down with everything, the back of your head, the shoulders, and the tailbone touching the wall. And slide back up. So that you would stay in that one center plane. Reaching down and reaching up. So my band is tight enough that this is creating some resistance for me when I return to center. If that's not the case for you, you can bring your hands right next to your shoulders with your palms forward and do your reach and center, reach and center. Or you could even add, I can't do it with this band, but you could even add a press over and back down, okay? So lots of options. Right now we're trying to stay in that center plane. The more resistance you use, the more challenging that is to maintain that form. I'm coming back down here. Moving with that shoulder in that same plane as those hips. So we're not leaning forward or back, just side to side. We have the last one here, and come back to center, and then we go back to those kickbacks. Place place that right foot on the band, step through with your left, and we're gonna press back. Is that right? Oh, TikToks. Caught me, caught myself. Step both feet on that band and cross those legs. We're gonna do wide walks. We're gonna step side to side. A little bend in your knees, shoulders over hips. They stay there as you step. This might be just a little teeny step, or you might need a little more resistance and challenge, and it might be a big giant step. Whatever you can do with those shoulders staying over your hips, and if you look down, your knees staying over your heels. I don't recommend that you stay looking down, but peek down every once in a while so you can see if that alignment is happening. I have to press my knees actively out to keep them over my heels, so I imagine you do too. It doesn't take many to feel these. Activating those glutes. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Whew. A little squat to release those muscles, and step up. All right, we're gonna put one handle on the ground to do that lower leg lift, inner thigh lift. Go ahead and turn that foot to the side, scooping up that band, creating your resistance here with your handle. Again, you can adjust where you're holding it, and press straight forward, stand tall. Now, your tailbone is still pointing down and back. It's not scooping under to lift. We want the lift happening here. And let's switch to the other side. And turn to the side to further illustrate that point. So staying here with that tailbone pointing down as we do that lift. You don't want a curve underneath, okay? I have a squeak. Last one. And bring it down. Here we go back to that monkey, that side to side. Standing 2 feet on that band. And here we go, shoulders over hips. I'm gonna reach to the side. Feel free to make your adjustments if you need a little more or a little less resistance. Again, you can do them right here without adding that elbow bend. You can bring your hands right up to your shoulders or overhead. Nice and strong. Last 4, 3, and 2. We're using our quadratus lumborum inside between those ribs and those hips there. All right, let's go ahead and grab a mat. We're gonna roll that out. We don't need our band any longer. We're gonna come on down. All right, let's start on hands and knees here with our shoulders over our wrists and our hips over our knees. Tailbone comes down just a little bit so that your back is flat instead of curved down. It's nice and flat. It's a challenge for me. You've got to engage your glutes. We're going to reach our right arm forward and hold balance, and then take our left leg and press it back. Reach and hold. Try to keep that back nice and flat. Lower it back down. Take your left arm out. Right leg out, so opposite arm, opposite leg, reach and hold. And switch sides. Switching again. And this time when we switch, we're going to add a little extra. Reach it out and hold. If this is enough, stay here. If you can do more, we're going to slide hand and leg out to the side, and then pull them back in and do that 2 more times. Out and in. And let's do that same thing on the other side. Reach out and hold. Inhale, slide out. Exhale, slide in. 2 more times. 1 more here. And lower it back down. We're coming down onto one shoulder all the way onto one hip so that we line up on our side here. We're going to do an upper trunk lift. So our knees are bent and a little bit forward of our hips. We're going to hold everything from here down nice and still. So glue them all together into the mat. Arms are forward and palms are one on top of the other. We're just going to open up that top arm and reach it over, follow it with our eyes, and then exhale, pull it back in. So the twist is happening at our waist, but our lower body, our hips and our knees and our feet are staying still. Exhale as you come back to center. One more. Before we do our other side, we're going to roll onto our back. Feet on the ground, hips width apart. We're going to press up and hold the bridge. Options, you can stay here in this hold, or you can lift one leg up. Let's lower it down for a nice hold, knees at the same height. Keeping that left knee over that left heel. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Let's exhale, lift up and hold that bridge once more. Stay here or lift that leg up. And then keeping those hips high, lower that leg down so your knees are at the same height. Your hips are level. Your right knee is over your right heel. 3, 2, and 1. Let's lower it down. I'm going to flip over to the other side so we can do that upper trunk lift or twist. Coming all the way down. Bend those knees. Bring them forward. Keep those knees together, feet actively together. Arms out front. Inhale, twist just that upper body. Exhale, return. Think about pulling that navel in. Keep it going. We've got lots of variety in this workout, so I'm just focusing on variety rather than repeating. Let's do 2 more. Last one here. And let's roll onto our back once more. And give a nice stretch. Bringing one knee to your chest, go ahead and hang on to it. Stretch it out. Feeling those glutes lengthen. We're going to get that inner thigh and outer thigh by putting that foot on the opposite knee and just allowing a press out to the side. Same thing with the warm-up. We're doing a quick little stretch here, although I highly recommend you spend a little more time stretching and or foam rolling. There's a foam roll workout on your online 15 page at the very top. That's perfect to use. Doesn't take very long. Do the other side here. Or you can add in a yoga here and add a little bit more stretching. So lots of options. And bring it back to center. I'm going to go ahead and roll to my side and come on up. Cross those legs in front. Reach one arm up and allow a little stretch. We did plenty of work on our side, so let's stretch it out. And other side. Back to center, bring palms together, open up that upper back. And release arms behind, open up that chest. And release. Good job. Thank you so much for joining me.